Hello, dear friends, and welcome. Tonight's story is called Poetry. This is not just about poems on a page, but about the poetry we find in everyday life, in gardens, in quiet moments, and in the kindness of others. This story is for all ages, so whether you're a child, a teenager, or an adult with a busy heart, I invite you to sit back, relax, and join me for a gentle tale. In a little valley surrounded by green hills and winding streams, there was a village that felt like a dream. Small cottages with sloping roofs leaned close together, as if whispering secrets to one another. Windows glowed warmly in the evening, and flowers nodded gently in the breeze. At the edge of this village lived a young woman named Leora. She wasn't known for wealth or grandeur, but for something simpler, her way of noticing beauty in the small things. To her, the sound of rain on the roof, the laughter of children by the stream, and the glow of candles in a window were all verses of a poem written by the world itself. She kept a little book, its pages soft and well-loved, where she wrote down lines of poetry inspired by her days. Sometimes her words were about a robin hopping along the fence, other times about the scent of bread drifting from the bakery. The villagers loved Leora's gentle words. Children would ask her to read them aloud under the willow tree in the square. Neighbors, carrying baskets of apples or jars of honey, paused to listen. Even travelers passing through stopped to rest and smile at the way her poems painted pictures of peace. Leora's voice wasn't loud, but it carried warmth, and her stories felt like a hug. And though she thought of herself as ordinary, the village quietly knew she was a gift, a poet whose words stitched their lives together with gentle threads of wonder. As summer deepened, Leora found herself writing more than ever. The long days filled with buzzing bees and ripening fruit seemed to beg for words. She carried her little book everywhere, to the meadow, where daisies swayed like dancers, and to the riverside, where ripples glistened like silver threads. One afternoon, as she sat on a wooden bench by the bakery, she noticed a little boy watching her. He clutched a small bundle of daisies in his hands. His voice was shy when he asked, "Are you writing one of your poems?" "Yes," Leora smiled, tilting her book toward him. "Would you like to help me?" The boy's eyes widened. He thought for a moment, then whispered, "The flowers look like they're smiling." Leora's heart warmed. She wrote it down and read the line aloud. The boy giggled, and soon his mother, carrying a basket of bread, came to listen too. More neighbors gathered around, and before long, the square was filled with laughter, chatter, and the sharing of small poetic thoughts. That evening, the villagers gathered at the square for what became their first poetry circle. Leora read her verses, but so did others. A baker spoke of rising dough as clouds that grow golden. An old farmer described dawn as the sky's slow yawn. Even the children added their joyful lines about butterflies, about frogs, about the taste of berries. Leora realized something wonderful that night. Poetry was not hers alone. It lived in every person, in every heart that paused to see the beauty in simple things. Her little book was growing, but so too was the village's voice, each line weaving them closer together. Autumn painted the hills in gold and amber, and the air grew crisp with the scent of apples and wood smoke. The poetry circle had become a tradition by then. Every week, villagers of all ages brought verses, sometimes short, sometimes long, but always full of warmth. One evening, under lantern lights strung between trees, Leora stood before her friends and neighbors. She read a poem she had written just for them. "You are the garden, each bloom and leaf, a song of kindness, a thread of belief. Together we weave a story so true. The poetry of life is written in you." When she finished, there was a hush, not empty, but full, like the pause before music swells. Then came gentle applause, smiles, and even a few tears. The little boy who once gave her daisies handed her a new flower, this time a marigold.